of the Secondary Equity Summit, and this process, I think, deepened our level of accountability. Having leaders be reflective about their practice is key to the growth of the school. Narrowing down the focus with the questions, I think that was the essential piece of today. Being able to tell your story so that you can replicate it is where we're going to get the movement, because if you don't know how you got there, you won't be able to make those corrective actions and think about it. And I think that being able to talk to your peers is more what this is about, to learn from each other, to share, and to be open to new directions and changes is one of the benefits. As you have a question?
What did you learn about your principals as a result of today?
I learned their level of understanding of the work. I learned about the communication of some of the practices, where there was more clarity, more explicit examples on their campuses, what thrust them forward. And some of the practices that people talked about, the backstory was courageous conversations that I had had with them. And so what folks picked came from that. And so I could tell that that was the right thing to do. So it validated the work that I had did. So we'd had assessments, we'd had walkthroughs, but the follow-up led to many of the things that they shared today. And those conversations around the work and knowing what works have made adjustments since the assignment was given. And since their plans were written, and what I've seen is that since the submission of the school site plans, we've incorporated more of the equity will into the plans. We're making adjustments, and in fact, we've had at least 3 principals already go back since this process has started to go back and say, oh, I didn't really understand that, or I need to ramp that up. And I reminded them that it's a live document. And for me as a leader, I'm going to use the questions to even take another look at reading them. Knowing where they had stuck points, because if you don't understand that a promising practice that you already put in place is what's getting you the push, that's what I also have validated, that we have good things going at places, and what other people think is the key to that school's success is not really what the success is, and the leaders should know that, and that was evident today in a couple of different places. And then it was interesting to see if there was alignment, and there was some misalignment in some places, and in others people were a little bit ahead of us, so that's good. So it also validated that as a district leader, we need to differentiate our support. And differentiating that support helps the newer principals as well as our veterans meet the needs of our students and our families. And I think that those conversations that we're having at the district are helping our principals be transparent with the parents and the community members, that we step up to a challenge, and we allow parents to ask us questions, and to stand back and not feel like we have to know all the answers, but have them go through the process. And I think that's building relationships with some of our teachers and with our parents.
Knowing that this whole idea of equity in our schools is not new. However, institutionalizing it is becoming probably challenges for a lot of districts. How does San Lorenzo really start to institutionalize the thinking that equity is the driving force of the district?
How's it coming? Say that again.
What are you guys doing to institutionalize that equity is the driving force of the district?
We're keeping our finger on the pulse with data. We are putting the resources that we have that are promising tools across the nation in the hands of our teachers, and we're staying focused on, we're going to use these, we will train you, we will retrain you. We have data director, we have NWA, but we're making those real tools, not just something that's sitting there and dust is getting on them. You know, we've personally given them another round of trainings, and we continue to do that, where we are starting to use some of our teachers that get it to help us do that. And I think having the tools and having the people learn that it's the tool that can help you in that further in that conversation is some aha moments for some of our staff in the schools that they didn't realize before the value of the tool. But now that we've changed the focus of to focus on instruction and to give them that feedback, when we can show them the success of what they're doing, linked and track it for them with success, we're having more people buy in. And that's happening with math, because that's one of our weaker areas. But when we have people actually have the good questions like you ask about data, and we can go and pull that up, that's giving people some confidence to keep that going. And I think that more people are finding that they're doing some things, but they're finding out the level of success, and I think that's changing the conversation amongst staff at schools. And another focus is having the district, all directors have been in our schools. That's something that's different. Everyone goes out for the walkthrough. Everyone has been to the school. So when we talk about an issue, we can all come to the table with the same understanding, so that we can tackle it from every angle using our expertise, so we can address the whole child and the whole family. I think having us all be visible also changes the relationships with many people, because they hear the message, but everyone puts a different spin on it, but it's saying the same thing. And when that starts to happen, then you get a sort of a synergy around that. Of course, we still have some folks still using data to distract and that kind of thing, but we have many people in the district that can use data. Our school board uses data. Our school board uses data director. So I challenge them that when people step up to the mic and they challenge one of the pieces that's on the equity wheel, to use their data director to pull up data. And that's changing our conversations. It's changed quite a bit about that work. So making what we're talking about being actually what's happening.
Just recently, WestEd just put out a report on the achievement gap in schools in California, and they rank schools from A grades to F grades. And San Lorenzo has been one of the schools in the Bay Area that's gotten a very good grade, not an A grade, but a very good grade, comparable to schools of different demographics and so on and so forth. How do you think, or what do you think needs to happen for San Lorenzo to get an A in equity?
To keep doing what we're doing. Because we are focused on instruction. It is nothing that you can buy out of a book. You actually have to know about lesson design and delivery. And that is what whiteboard configuration is about. It's about designing the lesson that is for the students that are sitting in front of you. Not shooting for the middle or spraying and praying. Is using that data to deliver curriculum-based lessons with a variety of instructional strategies. That's what we're focused on in San Lorenzo. And getting our principals up on what is the current research, what that looks like, and being able to give that one-on-one personalized feedback to the teachers. We did a focus 3 years ago in secondary to ensure that our principals understood what was in the teacher's manual. Do you know what the resources are? You know, in a way that was safe for them, so if you didn't, you could find out. And so that was an aha moment, that when we did those reviews of the curriculum and those materials, that changed everything. It changed our conversation, because now when someone comes in, we're not just saying, oh, thank you, you know, nice board or something like that. They're asking them specifically about a resource manual, about how the strands connect, and all of that. The conversation has changed, and I think that teachers know that, they respect that, and we're actually having meaningful conversations with them about the work and the students, and following up, because we're getting into the classes
No,
more.
I'm gonna have to go look through
Thank you.
everything Central